Yes. Wow. So let me know if you can hear me or not. Hopefully you can. Uh, let's see. I'm a little late, and I'll explain why in just a second. Just need to know that you can hear me because I had a lot of internet connectivity problems just now. Uh, so um, I moved my computer to another place where the lighting was a little bit better, and completely lost the internet. Totally. And then my troubleshooting brain, about 5 minutes too late, decided, hey, why don't you just move over there where you were when you had internet? So I did that, and now I'm back. And I've been alive for 45 seconds, and I don't see anybody talking. So I'm still not positive I'm live. But anyway, so I'm in the middle of, I don't know if I'm in the middle of Montana, but I'm definitely in Montana. Not Montana. What am I thinking? I'm in Wyoming, and the internet here is a little spotty. So I may have to be efficient here. I've been traveling a lot lately. It seems like. You see me? Do you hear me, Nathan McFarland? I just need to know so I know whether to keep talking or start panicking. So, so yeah, I've been traveling a lot lately. I was in Virginia last week when I did this, and the internet was better there, I think. And now I'm in good. I'm in Casper, Wyoming. I'm doing a mixing clinic. Well, last night and today I'm doing a keynote tonight, and I wish I could stream it live, but I can't. But I am pretty sure I'm going to be able to record it, and I'll try to make it available to you guys. So anyway, yeah, we were doing a mixing clinic last night, and I was talking about what I talked about last week, the open mixing framework thing, and the E and the N, OPEN. E and N is energize and neutralize. And we were mixing a song, and I realized, no pun intended, that you can't know if you're energizing a song unless you push the faders up. So a lot of people will try to, first time they hear a song, first time they mix a song, will try to, ease the tracks up a little bit and not get it too loud. And then you see other guys who tend to get mixes quicker. They will get too loud all the time. It's just part of the mixing process. And so hopefully we busted through some timidness and shyness about pushing faders up last night. So inevitably, when you try to energize a track, you try to figure out what is it about this track that that is energy. And one of the songs I'm pulling up is "Back in Black" by AC/DC. And even though I didn't listen to AC/DC when I was a kid, and still don't listen to them much, there's some iconic guitars on the front of that song. Nathan, you can probably play it note for note. Mark, you probably can too. It goes, dun, 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 and the only thing there's playing there is that guitar, bass, and kick and snare. I don't even really hear any cymbals or anything like that. So in that section of the song, that's what brings in energy. So as a mixer, you have to go, how can I focus the most amount of spotlight on those parts to give it a lot of energy? And the thing I noticed too is that where you highlight the energy on a song changes over time. So during that intro, if you listen to that song, you'll notice that, well, and maybe not this song because I haven't really analyzed it to this, but I have noticed this before. A lot of times, and I do this too when I mix, on the intro, and you've got sparse instrumentation like that, you make it big and you make it take up a lot of dynamic range, which is something I want to talk about too a little bit in just a second. You take up a lot of dynamic range. And then when the vocal comes in, that's where most of the spotlight, that's where most of the energy needs to go. So that spotlight, that energy thing tends to change over time. So in the intro, it could be guitars and drums, and on the verse, it's the vocal, and the guitars and the drums are still there, but they take a back seat, definitely. Same thing happens on solos, guitar solos, piano solos, fills, what we call them in Nashville, Fills. It's the part between the lyrics that the music plays. So if you have a line and then you have a bar or half a bar of openness, you play a fill there, something plays a fill there. And when you're doing mixing, you always find yourself trying to serve up what the listener needs to hear at that time. So you just have to kind of prioritize what gets heard at a certain time so that you can keep the most amount of volume, because you, as we know, dynamic range is so critical right now. Because your song will, on Spotify, YouTube, whatever, will get the volume will get pulled down if you mix it too loud. If you don't mix it loud enough, it's still not as loud as the next song. So you're always trying to work with that. And I have found a plugin that I'm digging right now. I bought the pro version of it. You can get one free though. It is called the Ulian or Uline. Ulian sounds more educated, I think. Loudness meter. And I mixed a lot. I mixed 7 or 8 songs last week, and one before. Hey Blake, um, using this Ulian loudness meter, trying to nail the the negative 14 LUFS. And I'm still trying to figure out everything, but I did notice that when um, I went over that boundary of minus 14 LUFS, the song started sounding a little bit crunchy, a little bit like I had just run it through a limiter or something like that. When I pulled the song down, messed with my mastering plugins, uh, and the gain staging, when I got it down around 14, it sounded loud but more open. So just curious if any of you guys have any experience with those mastering or metering plugins, what you use. I usually use a thing called Klanghelm VU meter, and I'm finding that it works. It definitely works. And if you can kind of if you set it up for K14 and you can get the VU meters up at 0 most of the time, your song sounds good. It sounds really good. But I'm kind of curious as to because there are slightly different standards between Spotify, Netflix, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. They have different criteria. And if you can fall within these criteria, then your song sounds better. Like you say, you've been using Waves meter. I have to check that out. I may have that. Is that the one that gives you the LUF, the LUFS output and everything? If so, I've used that, and I used it at the church. I think I bought it for the church, and yeah, it works really good. But this Ulian thing was free, and it was pretty. It seemed pretty robust, and so I started using that, and then I ended up, spending I think $30, maybe $40 on getting this because I was mixing a song, and I kept feeling like a song was too crunchy or too loud. It was too loud the first time, definitely the first time I did it, and I noticed that the LUFS was like minus 11. And I don't know, getting from minus 14 to minus 9 or 10, which is kind of where pop music is, it seems like these days, it takes some science and some art, which I'm going to try to become more of a master of. So anyway, thanks Blake for that link. I will check it out. And I think that's what I've got or what I had. I'm not sure if I had it. I think I bought it on the church's account. So I think they still have it, and hopefully they still use it. But man, one of the main things I notice in a lot of, especially church broadcasts, and I know some of you guys do church broadcasts, but um, in video like that, people will tolerate bad video a lot more than they will bad audio. So when they come across your channel and you're like, the hiss is louder than your mix, you've got problems. So it's worth taking a look at the Waves plugin or the Zillion plugin, or just a plain old VU meter setup from K14. Or if you really want to feel like a hot rod, K12, get it really loud up there. So anyway, so yeah, we covered several topics there, and I forgot some of the stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about. Mainly, finding the things that will make your mix seem loud without being loud. One of the things we talked about last night was the attack principle, which you've heard me talk about before, and how when you are mixing, the whole signal doesn't have to be loud. Typically, things like snare drums, things with attack. Usually the attack will be loud, and your ear will say, "Yep, I heard that." Like, and we were working last night on some fills and some vocals and things like that, and I was trying to show people how when you do a ride on an instrument, whether it be a solo, an intro, or whatever, if you can get the first part of it up, and then you can ride the second part of it down, because if you think about this, because this was happening last night, when you're running K14 and you're running that like to the wall dynamic range, and then you go to push a solo up, you can start making your compressor start thumping, right, or start pumping or breathing, and that's really not what you want to do. So sometimes what you can do is just get the front of it up and then pull it down, and that way your ear can say, "Okay, heard it, we're good." Because your ear would kind of latch on. Mine does anyway. I think my ears are the same as yours, but your ears kind of latch on to something, and then you can hear it when it gets softer. It's like, somebody pointing out an airplane in the sky. You don't see it at all until somebody points it out to you, and then every time you look up at the sky, you see that airplane. So anyway, um, any thoughts on dynamic range or these kinds of things? I would love to hear your input. I learned as much from you guys as you learn from me, hopefully. So I'm here until Thursday, and then I come back Friday, and I'm excited about some projects I'm getting mixed here a little bit. Like I said, I mixed some stuff, 7 songs last week. I've got another, hopefully 7 or 8 songs to mix when I get back to town, and I'm doing a television show, kind of on the regular, hopefully for the next little while anyway. And I'm mixing live front of house for that, which is a lot of fun. There's some adrenaline there that can't be matched anywhere. You can't do it in the studio. But anyway, so guys, um, I'm going to wrap this up while I still have internet, because I'm a little concerned about it. And if there's any way I can stream anything tonight, I will. But I will definitely be letting you know more about this new course I'm coming up with, this open framework for mixing. But I just want to thank you guys for coming by. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry I was a little late, but evidently uh, my computer was social distanced from the column of Wi-Fi connectivity that I had right here in front of my television, and it wasn't over there by the lamp. So anyway, hey guys, I will let you go. Hey Larry Berger, I will see you soon, hopefully. So I will let you go at that. If you guys want to share this video, if it was helpful, let somebody else know about it. Otherwise, I will see you next Tuesday, and hopefully I will be in a place where I have perfect internet, like well, I can't even say my house because I lost my internet on my house last week during a call. So anyway, I will let you guys go. Thank you guys for coming. It's been good hanging out with you guys, and I will talk to you soon. All right.